Hey, what's going on all you crazy monster hunters out there? I'm doing something a little different with this video. Instead of being out in the world somewhere on location, I'm actually recording this video from my home in San Antonio. I needed to get this information out quickly because what I'm about to reveal to you, what I'm about to cover, is something that we will all experience over the next several weeks. So grab a drink, get cozy, keep an open mind, because this is the legend of Baba Vanga. Known as the Nostradamus of the Balkans, the blind mystic from Bulgaria, Baba Vanga, has been a hot topic recently in the world of the paranormal. Legend says that she's been given the gift of foresight, and the prophecies she's given have come to pass with unsettling accuracy over the past several decades. In August of 2000, the Kursk, a submarine from Russia, sank to the bottom of the Barents Sea. All 118 passengers were killed, and this tragedy made headlines worldwide. What's striking is that in 1980, she delivered the message, Kursk will be covered with water, and the whole world will weep over it. In 1989, she delivered the following message, horror, horror, the American brethren will fall after being attacked by the steel birds. The wolves will be howling in a bush, and innocent blood will be gushing. Regarding the terrorist attacks of 9/11, here, the steel birds reference could easily be interpreted as the planes that were flown into the World Trade Center and the Pentagon. It's also striking that she mentioned the word Bush in her prophecy, as George W. Bush was president at this time. Indira Gandhi served as Prime Minister of India in the early 1980s. A controversial figure at the time, she was assassinated by her two bodyguards. Many years prior to this, in 1969, Baba Vanga had a vision of Gandhi saying, "The dress will destroy her. I see an orange-yellow dress in the smoke and fire." At the time of her assassination, the sari she wore matched the color of the prophecy. Now, there are way too many visions, and I'm not going to enumerate every single one of those, but in addition to those three examples, she's also been credited with accurately predicting the death of Princess Diana, America's first black president, the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, and even her own death. I've known of Baba Vanga and her prophecies for several years now, but my interest was recently piqued again when a very powerful 8.8 magnitude earthquake hit Russia in the Kamchatka region. Not only did the blind Bulgarian mystic foretell of 2025 being a year of earthquakes, but she also warned of tsunamis that would be prevalent. Earlier this year, Myanmar was rocked with a devastating earthquake that killed thousands. The tsunamis that hit Japan at the beginning of August and the tsunami that hit Alaska near Juneau a week later come to mind. Coincidence? Maybe. Let's keep going. Despite having been deceased for 29 years, her visions of the future warrant a little more attention. There's a particularly haunting message that I can't seem to stop thinking about. By summer's end, in the 25th year of the new millennium, what man has made with his own hands will rise against him. We're living in the age of artificial intelligence. Our machine learning models are now starting to think and act in ways that we never fully anticipated. Even many computer scientists have come out publicly warning our society of the slippery slope. Experts such as Jeffrey Hinton, the godfather of AI, warn us of the possibility that in the near future, artificial intelligence will surpass human intelligence and could possibly lead to the extinction of mankind or other catastrophic events. Was Baba Vanga warning us of an AI crisis at the end of the summer? Are we developing systems we can no longer control? Now, I'm not talking about the rise of Terminators or Sarah Connor and all of that, but systems equally as devastating could be at risk. What if AI makes a decision to shut down the energy grids or healthcare networks? Could AI shut down global satellites, disrupting our communications? Our world economies are already fragile. Worse yet, could AI make irreparable decisions about nuclear weapons? Now, here's where it gets really interesting. She revealed that 2025 would mark the beginning of the end of humanity. She prophesied a great conflict originating in Europe, resulting in widespread death and destruction. This European conflict would lay the groundwork for our third and final world war. For most of us, the conflict between Russia and Ukraine probably come to mind. However, just 4 days ago, Poland shot down Russian drones that had crossed into Polish airspace. NATO is on high alert. They're sending troops, artillery, air defense into Poland, in what's being called an unprecedented Russian incursion into Polish airspace. Besides that Russian incursion, another striking point of alarm happened just 4 days ago. Baba Vanga has warned that in the summer of 2025, the United Hand will be broken into two. It's probably no big shocker to say that, with the exception of the Civil War, the United States has probably never been more divided. The left and right are clashing with each other with ever-increasing hate and malice. But just 4 days ago, political activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed while speaking at an event at a Utah university. The United Hand is indeed broken into two, as the prophecy says. What I've been trying to do by sharing these examples and prophecies is build the credibility of Baba Vanga. One of the more sensational predictions that she made was that in the year 2025, mankind will be visited by extraterrestrials. Moreover, our first contact will happen at a major sporting event. Sounds a little too far-fetched, right? Well, get this. Just 2 months ago, at the Atlas Telescope Station in South America, astronomers discovered a very unusual object that has entered our solar system. After completing the analysis, it was confirmed that this was an interstellar object, meaning it originated from outside of our solar system. This is only the third object in all of recorded human history to have traveled to us from another star system, a lone traveler that's crossed unimaginable distances to get to us. Measuring between 20 and 40 kilometers and roughly the size of Manhattan, 3i Atlas, as it is named, is traveling to us at an unimaginable rate of speed of 135,000 miles per hour, and it is expected to reach its proximity to us between the end of October and early December. So how is this related to Baba Vanga? Well, over the past several weeks, esteemed Harvard astrophysicist Professor Avi Loeb has proposed that this interstellar object may not be a comet or an asteroid, but rather a craft of intelligent technological design. You may be asking, how is Professor Loeb arriving to this theory? There are several behaviors and observations he's compiled, and when you sum them up together, the math suggests that it is much too suspicious to be a mere coincidence. Let's talk about a few. As I mentioned previously, aside from 3i Atlas, there have only ever been 2 other objects to enter our neighborhood since humanity first started studying astronomy. The first, Oumuamua, discovered in 2017, and the second, 2i Borisov, in 2019. Humans have been surveying the skies for centuries. Our telescopes have been getting more and more sophisticated over the decades. In short, we've been doing this a while. But now, all of a sudden, we have 3 objects that have come to visit Earth in the past 8 years, where previously we didn't think that was even possible. That's a little unsettling. Could some of the theories be true, that Oumuamua and 2i Borisov were just probes scouting out the area before the Grand Mothership arrives, much the same way we send unmanned vehicles or drones to survey potentially dangerous areas? A striking observation about 3i Atlas's behavior is that its orbit is too peculiar to be a natural object. It doesn't appear to obey the movements that astronomers expect. Unlike all the other objects in our solar system that orbit the sun in an infinite loop, 3i Atlas has a hyperbolic escape path, meaning it's going to pay us a quick visit and quickly zoom away, never to be seen again, completely disrespecting the sun's gravitational pull. This object is not gravitationally bound. It's on a hyperbolic trajectory with an eccentricity greater than 1. To spare you the boredom of having to watch me do the math, what this means is that it's traveling at such a high rate of speed and with such a sharp curve that it will escape the sun's gravitational pull, allowing it to fly out of our solar system after it's done with its flyby. That sounds a little more premeditated than what I'd expect from a mindless rock floating through space. Furthermore, the object has entered our solar system with such a low inclination, traveling just above the ecliptic plane, which sets it apart from the other 2 aforementioned interstellar objects. Why this is significant is that it means that 3i Atlas is traveling along the same highway that we use to launch our own space probes. Our scientists use this space highway to minimize energy consumption of our crafts by maximizing the assistance of planetary gravitational pull. 3i Atlas is using the same techniques of space travel. It's not just some mindless asteroid or comet casually passing through our neighborhood, it's showing behaviors of intentional flight paths. The object's trajectory is so efficiently aligned with the ecliptic plane that it is perfectly tuned to pass as close as it can to our neighboring planets Venus, Mars, and Jupiter. A natural celestial object? Deeply improbable. Professor Loeb has stated that this pattern of anomalies is demanding a more open mind. This trajectory is not random, it's by design. It's so improbable that Professor Loeb has calculated the odds. For an object that is 20 to 40 kilometers in size, every star in our galaxy would have needed to eject about 10,000 more pieces of rocky material than our solar system contains today. Couple that with the fact that the trajectory is so perfectly tuned, the chances of this being a cosmic coincidence is about 0.0005%. To put that conclusion inversely, there's a higher than a 99% chance that this is an artificial craft crafted by an intelligent species. When Oumuamua, the first object from another star system, first entered our neighborhood, scientists agreed that the chances were extremely low and concluded that another object like that finding its way into our solar system is nearly impossible. But yet, here we are, a few years later, talking about a third one. Is it possible that Oumuamua wasn't alone, but rather a scout? The first of many reinforcements? The first of a fleet headed our way? Professor Loeb's thought on that matter is that this is exactly what we would expect from a spacefaring civilization. They wouldn't just send one, they'd send many, to gather information, to map the area, to observe us. This object is being closely monitored by telescopes all over the world, and because of this, scientists all over the world are divided on why this object does not obey the laws of physics. It accelerates, it decelerates, it maneuvers, almost as if it's being steered. Its movements are intentional. Intention implies thought. Thought implies intelligence. In the late 1970s, Ohio State University's Big Ear telescope detected a radio signal of unknown origin coming from deep space. The area of the sky from which this signal fired was in the constellation of Sagittarius. Tracing backwards, astronomers have concluded that 3I Atlas originated from near the center of the Milky Way, near the constellation, you guessed it, Sagittarius. As per NASA's computations, it will reach our closest neighbor Mars on October 3rd, and it will reach perihelion, meaning its closest point to Earth, on October 29th. At perihelion, it will be only about 1.4 AUs, or astronomical units, away from us. In other words, at its closest, it will be just less than 1.5 the distance as Earth is to the Sun. We're just 47 days away from this object's closest visit to us. So then, if this object is intelligently designed to pay us a visit next month, it begs several questions. For starters, in all of our existence, why have we never had conclusive proof of other civilizations? It's arrogant, and in my opinion, quite absurd to think that humans are the only intelligent species in the universe. As vast as the universe is, with the countless stars and galaxies, the countless galaxies and clusters, the countless clusters and superclusters, numbers that go far beyond what the human brain can even begin to comprehend. Yes, as vast as the universe is, of course there are other intelligent civilizations out there. Mathematics suggests that countless civilizations exist. One reason for us not being able to conclusively prove their existence is a theory put forth by Enrico Fermi in 1963, known as the dark forest theory. The theory states that they're there, but they're intentionally keeping quiet. Here's the general idea. All life wants to stay alive. There is no sure way to know if other life forms want to destroy you. With no other knowledge and the desire to survive, the safest option is to annihilate other life forms before they have the chance to annihilate you. What this translates to is that in order to survive as a living being, any contact with another civilization is dangerous, because doing so would ultimately result in a mad race to destroy whoever is foolish enough to give away their location. The result of this fear is that all living beings keep their head low, avoid attracting any attention, and remain absolutely silent. This dark forest theory might be why we haven't heard a peep from any of the other countless civilizations out there. Everyone is worried about giving away their location. Professor Loeb is warned that if 3I Atlas truly is an alien craft, it's either friendly or hostile. They could be carrying technology to share with mankind that would greatly help humanity, It's worth noting that Baba Vanga also prophesies a major leap forward in our technology within the next few years. Conversely, it's also equally as likely that they could be carrying technology to eradicate humanity. Should we worry? Here's the thing. Let's go back and consider the timing of the perihelion. It just so happens that by chance, or more likely by design, that the point when the craft is closest to Earth, it will be on the other side of the sun. We will have absolutely no visual on it. No telescopes pointing at it, no crafts to intercept it. It entered our neighborhood way too quickly and we didn't have time to react. Sounds like a pretty tactical move, right? Get as close to your target without being seen? Any slight adjustment on the object's speed could potentially allow us to have at least some visual on the object, but no, the velocity is so surgically precise that it will remain completely hidden. Completely out of sight at its closest point to us. It just seems too perfect. We have to remember, we're pretty late to the party. Our sun, and consequently the Earth, have only been around since the latter third of our galaxy's existence. 2/3 of other intelligent civilizations may have had centuries, perhaps even millennia, to advance their technology. If their science and tech have had thousands of years to advance and are able to travel to distant star systems, mankind certainly would have no chance of survival if their intentions proved hostile. It would be the equivalent of trying to defend ourselves against a nation with nuclear bombs while being armed with nothing but spitballs and slingshots. Since the beginning of humanity, we have always wondered, are we alone in the cosmos? Well, in the next several weeks, we might very well have that answer. Whatever comes of this, mankind is literally standing at the edge of history, and the question of, are we alone, feels less and less like it comes from a sci-fi movie and more like reality. This story is still developing, and you can be assured I'm going to be following this very closely. As new information comes along, I'll be sure to pass that along to you, so make sure you're subscribed to my channel and give me a follow on Instagram. Let's watch together to see if yet another one of Baba Vanga's predictions comes true. Until then, keep looking up, and also never stop searching.